Tonight, the CDC is warning about a new outbreak, Norovirus, which causes nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and abdominal pain. What has health officials so alarmed? The strength of the virus and how quickly it spreads. Norovirus is transmitted by people who don't wash their hands after using the bathroom. It lives on surfaces or on food people touch. The current strain hitting the United States is from Australia. It's highly infectious and particularly vicious.
Norovirus is considered to be the leading cause of gastroenteritis. It is highly infectious and can spread rapidly. It can cause death in children and the elderly. The virus most commonly occurs in the winter months. Learning more about the virus can help to one day create a predictive model that can help policymakers enact preventative measures. This study looks at spatial patterns of the virus over the season, as well as looking for areas the virus may cluster. Outbreak data for this study was made available by officials at the California Department of Public Health. Outbreak data was collected at the county level by public health labs. The counties in green released their data for this study. The counties in yellow do not currently have public health labs able to test for norovirus. The 5 counties in red declined to release their outbreak data for this study. 46% of the total area of California was represented in this study, as well as 59% of the state's total population. To find patterns on how the virus spreads through California during its season, a mean center analysis was used. The outbreak points were put into categories for what month they occurred in. The mean center analysis was then run for each month. To find the season for norovirus in California, the results were graphed by month to find the peak time for outbreaks. Looking at these graphs, we can see that outbreaks commonly occur from October through March. Now that we have defined the season for norovirus in California, we can analyze its spread during this time. Using the outbreak data from October through March, we can start to see a pattern emerge. The virus begins in the south and then spreads to the north. March is the only month that does not follow this pattern. Taking a closer look at how the virus spreads, outbreak data was pulled for each season and then categorized by week. The kriging method was then used to create a raster map that shows where outbreaks occurred most commonly during that week. This map is from the 2008 to 2009 season and shows a similar south to north spread of the virus. Earlier weeks are lighter in color, and weeks later in the season are darker. Other seasons analyzed with this method also supported a south to north pattern. A hotspot analysis was run to look for areas where large outbreaks cluster in California. The analysis was run for each season and the results layered on top of one another. Red points indicate hotspots, areas with clustering of large outbreaks, and blue points indicate cold spots, areas that do not have clustering of large outbreaks. Looking at the results, we can find areas that are designated as hot or cold spots for more than one season and be reasonably assured that those areas are significant and results aren't skewed by one data point. Further investigation is needed to find out why some areas of California see larger outbreaks than other areas. 2 variables discussed in literature that may impact the spread of norovirus is population density and temperature. Areas with higher population densities would have more hosts present in closer quarters to spread the disease. With this thinking, one would believe that hotspot areas would be in areas with high population density and cold spots to be in areas with low population density. This method of thinking does not seem to hold true for our analysis, leading us to believe that other factors are influencing certain areas to be hot or cold spots. This map shows population density by county, with high population densities being the darker colors. Since norovirus exhibits a winter seasonality, one would think cooler temperatures would lead to larger outbreaks. Again, in our analysis, this is not shown to be correct. If anything, it shows the opposite trend. This map symbolizes average temperature during outbreaks by county, cooler temperatures being represented by blues and warmer temperatures, reds. The trend we see of cold spots in areas with cooler average temperatures and hot spots in areas that are warmer may simply be due to the fact that Northern California has cooler temperatures than Southern California's. In conclusion, we have found that there is a spatial pattern of how the virus spreads through California during its season. There is clustering of large outbreaks in California, but what causes those clusters requires further analysis. This analysis is not enough to create a predictive model, but is a step in the right direction.